Oh, God, you made a mess already.
Welcome, guys, to our second HMV special. This time we are at HMV MetroCentre, and we have with us today our gaffer, Mason.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
I know you.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, not many people do.
Everybody gets a round of applause.
So welcome to the pod. Obviously, it was yourself that invited us down. Would you care to explain what's going on today?
Well, we have the first crossover event with the MetroCentre, like a takeover, with Geoff Mull. So the door was open for us to put on an event that's going to attract some of their attention. So we have Geoff Mull, who's coming down to do some acoustic stuff that he doesn't normally do, as well as the full band here tonight. It's 7 o'clock. In the meantime, we have Fairely, Jack Mylchreest, Steve Pledger, because they're all behind us. Are going out to play in the malls and at W Malta, and then you guys just to be a base of operations, and everyone can sort of come in, see what's going on, and
awesome.
A different kind of vibe.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. So what would you say your role for today is? Are you just like
to multiply in many different personalities and people and multitask?
Yeah, be everyone's kind of like.
Well, it's the MetroCentre. Coming to the MetroCentre, like. The new management of the MetroCentre are just absolutely amazing. They've opened the door for so many different kind of events, whether it's the Odeon or outside. Right now there's a live game show going on.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't dream about a band, like a full band playing live in here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And they've just totally changed and evolved, and they've opened the door, so it's an opportunity to, what's going on in the MetroCentre. We don't have Metroland anymore.
Yeah.
Why come to the MetroCentre? And these are the reasons why, because you don't know what's going on. Well, Metroland is amazing.
I mean, you think as well, like the retail itself's like changing. You got to give people a reason to come out to shop now, because it's online is just too easy just to buy whatnot.
Yeah.
But these kind of events are brilliant because it's an event. It's a day out, and when you're out, you might as well have a look around the shops and get a few more things. I think.
But live music as well. It's introducing the local stuff to giving people the opportunity. Going, we're from the north. We have a massive expo called Sam Fender now from the north, and there's also loads of other talent out there, know, and come to the MetroCentre. No, this is the place to come,
Yeah, it's starting to rise up the local music scene. To be fair, there's a load more banging at the door now, which is good. So what we started doing recently on our podcast is we leave a question from yourself to the next person. And last time we recorded on Monday, we recorded with a guy called Matty Gray from the Gig Co-op. And he left a question, was, would you eat blue food if it was safe to do so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a thing where it was just like, there's no blue food.
Well,
there's blue cheese, that's about it.
Cheese, yeah.
We were out up in Penrith a few weeks ago, and we ended up in one of these shops, and they were doing these, American licorice lace.
Oh, yeah.
I want to try and keep this PG, but I was munching them on the way back driving because I was doing the power drive back. Yeah. Next day, bright green, bright blue, trips to the toilet. I was like,
oh, really?
There's something wrong here.
Yeah, and I know that. I know it's
coloured intestines.
But yeah. So if you ate some blue, just prepare for like that. I was thinking, what's wrong with me? So yeah, it was a weird one. That.
Oh, it's like being a Smurf for a day. So we got two questions of yourself, and then we'll get on to our next guest. First of all, do you have a question for our next guest? We've got Matt Fairely is going to be on after you.
Matt Fairley's question will be, when will he finish his new single so we can go to Nottingham to do the music video? Put him on the spot about
that. Mint. And who do we have on next Monday?
We've got Jen Dixon.
Cool. Can we get a random question from you to Jen?
When's she going to play in the shop?
Oh, good question. Actually, that's actually very relevant.
Going to play in the shop. Mint. We'll get that through. With the final question we've got for yourself, a new segment we're putting in. Could you recommend to our viewers any local artist that isn't playing today that you think they should go and check out?
At the moment, Mitch Laddie Band, they're probably going to play it in the malls in the MetroCentre, the next major mega event that we're pushing towards. Mitch has just played with Walter Trout over the weekend.
I'd agree with Mitch Laddie. Like, I saw him a while back now, but they were absolutely fantastic.
They're so tight as a unit. I mean, it's not a cheap plug to Lonely Tree. They do the intro music Lonely Tree, but just seeing them on tour last year in Spain, and they should literally, they do the local gigs now, but they should be on some of the bigger support slots. So putting them on the Metro would be mint.
I'm sure I saw them in a pub, just like as a Friday night kind of. It's like, Why are these doing the but yeah.
Well, they're on the Mio header above there, drawn by our local artist Tony. That's hand drawn. So it was sold out. We've got one of Mitch's solo albums on the bottom there, and sold out of the band album. So
doesn't surprise us, like.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I've got to shoot. I've got to be in a million different places.
That's all right with us. We're going to get Matt on in a second. Thank you very much for chatting to us for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much for coming in, and I'll see you in a bit.
Shall do.
Right, we'll take a short break. I'll be back soon. So we'll do that after every one, do you think?
Yeah, because then we can segment it.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Right.
All right.
Wall here. Jack's here now. Matt's here. Steve's here.
Out of 100, I pick you every time. I'm so lucky I get to sit at your mind. I find it hard to say how I feel. You fix the broken pieces of me. I know I let you down and it shows. Now the luckiest summer that I know. Never giving up on me, dear. You fix the broken pieces of me.
Right, do I do the off the stage outro or do I do the we're back baby?
Oh
my god.
We're back. Basically, the crack with that is we were trying to find like an intro music, and it was becoming very copyrighty like. So James was like, I can make one on my phone, and that's just we started playing about with it a lot last episode, and it's become my favourite one now. So welcome to the podcast.
Cheers, thanks for having us.
For our viewers, on our next segment we have Matt Fairely.
It's like surround sound clapping here.
Wow,
just like,
thanks for having us.
Yeah. So who are you? What kind of music do you do? How do you introduce yourself?
I'm Matt. I'm a songwriter of the area. I got started writing songs more for other people.
Right.
I was a songwriter for other artists.
Ooh, right, so that's interesting. How do you get into that? Because I've always been...
Literally, it just started. People just started messages and asking us to write songs. People heard a song that I wrote with me band or something, and then they'd say, "Oh, could you write us something for this and something for that?" And before I knew it, I was, nothing, no number one hits it, but then some, slight better names get involved in there. So like my songs are like the rejects essentially for that other people didn't want essentially.
So how do you write a song for someone else? Do you just give them the lyrics? Do you give them lyrics and the song? Do you record it and send it over, or?
All depends. It's quite often, because it's as cliche as it is, it's my therapy. I'm like most men, I'm murder for saying how I really feel, but like I'll write it down in a song. I can say whatever everything I need to say, and so quite often when I write a song for the people, if I'm working close, because if I'm working face to face with somebody, experiences link over, and before you know it's kind of about you and them. And but then if I've done something like through the pandemic and whatnot, doing something very remotely, it's either which is a bit more difficult, you get subject matter. Can you write a song like this? And it's like, I could try.
That's a bit, because it's not your own.
It hasn't got that personal touch.
That's it.
That's
but I always try and put a little bit of myself in.
Of course,
like I'd never write a song for someone if I don't feel I could achieve an honest approach to it.
That's cool. We've not actually had someone who writes other people's songs on yet.
All right.
So when you do that, I'm not obviously asking for figures, but would you charge someone for the song, or would you take like a royalty from what comes through, or how
it depends. It really depends. It's a lot of the stuff. It's kind of because of the scale that it was on. It's a lot of written up contracts. If and when, and then I get paid for me time, and then if and when something happens, there's all the contracts are drawn out.
Oh, fingers crossed.
But then, that would be nice. But then at the same time, I've done stuff where I've just, for the love of it, like if it's a friend, like I work with, like I don't care if they make £1 million off it, like I'm happy to be. That's all I know. Like it's the only thing I've ever stuck out in my life.
Oh, good.
So writing songs is like it's part of me day.
That's cool, like.
No, that's really cool. So what we've got, and we're going to ask you for a question for the next person, but Mason asked us a question for yourself, and it was, when will you finish your new single?
Very soon. The new single is it's a way to get drums on it.
Okay.
I've got a very good friend of mine who is just an incredible drummer, so all the songs get sent to him. So once he's done it, I'm going to pass the blame to him. Once he's finished with it, then I'll get my finishing touches done like ASAP. Hopefully next month.
Oh, brilliant. So that's something you want to release this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ideally, like 6 or 7 releases this year is
That's
in
cool.
different,
Yeah.
because everything's comes from like acoustic start, foundation, and then depending on the song,
there.
it builds up from there. So a couple of acoustic songs, a couple of songs that have progressed into full band pieces and whatnot, and then a couple of live videos thrown out there and whatnot. Just
Easy. That's cool as hell. That. So it's always good to have a mate who's also a drummer.
oh yes,
It's like-
very much so.
Aye.
Very much so.
We're so what we were saying before, we record every Monday, like the full podcast, and we had a guy called Matty Gray who does the Gig Co-op,
Right.
and we got him to ask a couple of questions for you guys. And the question we're going to give you today is: when you're performing live, do you have a uniform for stage? Do you have like a set outfit?
I don't know. Like
No?
this is my uniform today. Possibly a t-shirt change because I'm a sweater. Other than that, I don't. I literally.
Well,
I like to keep it as.
It's your own personality though. Like the
That's
way you
it.
dress is the way you dress, because that's the way you dress. It's like that is your uniform.
That's
It's
it.
the
way you
yeah,
dress.
It's the way
kind
you
of
The way you
is.
dress is the way you dress. 'cause
I was
it's
trying
the
to
way
say
you dress.
something quite intelligent there, but it just never comes
Yeah,
out
it's
of
quite
me.
a
Like,
statement as well.
yeah, the way you dress is the way you dress. Brexit means Brexit.
So on the question section, next we have Jack is going to jump on the pod. Could you give us a question we could ask Jack?
Honestly, for Jack, I would just love to know more about his process,
Okay.
because I love his music. Like from the first time I heard his vinyl, I'm a fan. So for me, as much insight to his process as possible.
No, it's songwriting.
Yes,
Yeah,
alright.
yeah.
Because that, I mean, being a song, like that's all. Like
How do you do that?
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like,
all I do, that's all I talk about to
It is
people, like-
it's an interesting topic, isn't it? Really,
It really is,
I always, because the way I write songs, I guess it changes for me. It depends. Sometimes it can take 20 years to write a song. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes.
Yeah.
oh, very much so. Like I've got songs I've been working on a year. Like
Yeah.
I used to be very much, if it's not done within 2 days, it's.
I'm the
not
same.
there.
If it's not done in 20
Yeah.
minutes, I'll lose interest.
Whereas like now I've had to really like go, right, okay, this is great, I really like it, but it's missing this.
Yeah.
This piece will come. And it's something like it's been writing songs for other people. I've been able to learn that, teach myself that,
Yeah.
because I've been able
Yeah.
to not be more patient with the process.
Yeah, that's it. Because I say some songs do just come straight away, but then there's all like, so I've got loads of songs that are just like they're missing something. I haven't got it there yet. But
Yeah.
then I'll write another song and it's like that's missing other bits. But then that bit of the song kind of fits into that song, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's a
Yeah,
full song.
that's
There we
it.
go.
And I love that. That's
Yeah.
part of the process I love as well. I love going through like my demo folders and going, oh, that's rubbish on its own, but if it was with this
Yeah.
part of this song,
It's like a puzzle, isn't it?
yeah,
So,
it really is. It's just fascinating.
yeah, I love it, mate.
So obviously with yourself working with other musicians, one of the new segments we've got is we're getting people to recommend local artists for people to check out. Obviously not including anyone doing this event today.
Okay.
Is there anyone you've worked with or anyone you think they're going to be up and coming, someone should go check them out?
I do, but honestly, I'm useless with names of artists. Like there's been a couple that I've worked with. Oh God, what are they called? Honestly, I'm useless.
We need to stop putting people on the spot with
I
this.
feel
Yeah,
so
we
bad.
should ask them beforehand before they
I feel
come
so
on.
bad about it. But yes, there's lots of good local artists.
Yeah.
But right now, I can't name them.
Right, no,
Oh, could you name any that you've worked with?
Honestly, there's a lass called. I don't know what she used to go by. She used to go by Charlie.
Right, okay.
I think she's changed an artist name, but she had do you know the anti-bullying thing Ed Sheeran is involved with?
Right.
She had the song as the national campaign
Right.
for that, and we wrote that together.
That's cool.
But she you know when someone just never had a singing lesson in her life, she opened her mouth once
Natural.
in a wit, and it was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, you've got.
I hate people like that.
Oh yeah, like everything is so forced. I've got to really work at everything. But natural talent. Honestly, I feel terrible now. I can't remember anything.
Yeah, no, well, Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
sure
I think
she'll
there was
Just Google Charlie.
Yeah,
It'll be there.
I think it was Charlie saw she was going for it. She she was getting in with managers and she was branding herself and whatnot. And there was a lot of names
Yeah.
thrown around. So
Yeah.
I was just like, well, there's your song. Call it what you want.
Mint. We're not trying to rush you, but we've got a minute and 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Have you got any upcoming shows or singles coming out? This airs on the 20th of June to give you a time frame.
I do. Yes, I'm here
Plug.
in HMV.
That's
In HMV. In
You know, kids these days.
Got paparazzi in the way, sorry
It's
guys.
terrible. I'm here on the 24th. 24th, Saturday the 24th of June, yeah.
Yeah, mint, cool. What time do you set up? What time are you on?
I think it's about 12:30, I think. And that's...
Is that the full band?
No, this is just me. I might have a guitarist with us, which I'm hopefully
Yeah.
going to, just to give a bit more, so I'm not, because it's lonely on your own. I find
Yes,
it so
yeah,
lonely.
yeah, it is.
Incredibly lonely.
Yeah.
So I'm hopefully going to be creeping in more people, but that's the next gig. There'll be open mics and that in between, but that's the next show.
Cool. And then just finally, can you tell anybody what socials you've got so they can come and find you wherever?
Yeah, I'm on all social. I'm at Fairly Music UK, Instagram. I think I'm on everything bar Facebook.
Cool. Well, I think I use Facebook for like connection and stuff, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean Facebook's for like your contacting pubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else is Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TikTok, my Fairly Music UK, and Instagram the same.
That's awesome. It's nice to know you've got like one thing for everything. Makes things so much easier for me anyway.
Oh, yeah,
Searching
definitely.
people's,
Well, thank you very much for coming down.
Appreciate
We did
it.
that with 10 seconds to spare.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So thank you for listening. Everybody go follow Matt, and obviously pop along to MetroCentre hmv on the 24th of June, 12:30 start, and enjoy your day.
Thanks
Yeah.
a lot. Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
See you next
We'll-
time.
We'll get the next act on. Oh.
You had one job, the guard.
Did you get it on film, did you?
No, they
Oh,
got off. So we check out the podcast video, just been video bombed by some people.
It felt like heaven at first, but now we're in purgatory, for we've reached the end of our so-called love story. Contrary to belief, this book is closing. There's nothing you or I could say to keep this chapter over. Hard to see.
Welcome back to the Off the Stage. We're back here at our hmv MetroCentre for our special event, the MetroCentre Takeover. And for our next part, we have someone you might recognise from our early days. Ladies and gents, we have Jack Mylchreest is back on. We've got an improved clap from the first time.
Thank you very much for having us.
Normally I'd say what genre describes you, but we've had you before, so how have you been in the last year? What's changed?
Has it been a year?
You were one of our first acts, and
Wow.
on Tuesday we released our 1 year anniversary episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, wow. Yeah, things have kind of kicked off a bit since then. Released my debut EP in My Stride, which is available for purchase in HMV today. Oh, he's got one hand. There we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, promo at its best.
That wasn't planned.
I think that's the last time I saw you was at that gig.
I've just dropped the pen.
Yes.
James, get to work.
I know, I'm distracted, I do apologise.
Yeah, you were at the gig. Thank you very much for coming. So we released the EP, and then we've released since then a new song called Hannah,
Yes.
which is out now, which is a bit different. And then we're also in the process of releasing a new EP called City Break, which it's finished recording. It's just being mixed and what have you. We're getting it on vinyl, and well, hopefully we've launched a Kickstarter to get it on vinyl and CD and all that kind of stuff, and we're 12 quid away from reaching the target. So I'm assuming by the time this goes out, we've got 12 quid.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Well, if not, get your money out your pockets and get
have you got 6 quid between you, like each now?
We're both musicians.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool. Thank you to everyone who's pledged for that. And yeah, it's just been cool. I'm quite taken back by people's generosity and kindness, and it's just been lovely. So yeah, thank you very much.
So what do they get if you pledge? Do they get like a copy of the
There's
vinyl?
different tiers.
Oh, okay.
So there's a tier for the vinyl, there's a tier for the CD, there's a tier for the vinyl and the CD, and then if you're a top fan, it's the vinyl, CD, and a ticket to the gig that we're going to do, which hasn't yet been announced, but it will be soon.
Cool.
There you go.
So put that in your diary for soon.
Yeah, soon.
So beforehand we had Matt Fairely on, and he left a question. Well, it wasn't so much a question; it was more like an inquiry, I'd say.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your process of songwriting?
So I overheard this question and I started to blush and I had to walk away because I was like, that's super kind of him to ask. I don't know. It's kind of like I'll get an idea. Hopefully, I'll get an idea, work on it for ages, kind of get the kinks out of it, kind of, you know, try and get it to a very simplistic format where it's like a song, not just like a bunch of words thrown together. And then I'll take it to the band and we'll kind of work on it, the four of us. And then when we think it's kind of ready, it gets recorded, and then so forth and so forth. So the songs kind of come from different places. A lot of them are autobiographical, but then there's a couple of songs that are about other people who will remain nameless. But yeah, they kind of, because I've written quite a few breakup songs, but to tell you the truth, I've not had that many breakups. So it's a lot. There's a few
just
songs.
One big breakup.
Just one, yeah. So there's a few songs that are definitely inspired by other people's situations, and I think that's sometimes, like, I feel like I've written quite a lot of songs about being in love and all that kind of stuff, and like at some point I'm gonna have to like have some trauma to be able to write something a bit more sad. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
So who's your girlfriend now?
Sophie.
So Sophie, do us a favour now.
Aye, break up with us for a week. That'd be great.
Just for a week, yeah.
Yeah, get some songs out of it.
Break his heart. Then he says, "Oh, I've got 6 songs written." Then you can get back together.
This is also true. But she writes some of the songs as well.
Oh,
so
right.
I mean, this is it. Like,
so
you know,
it's a double-edged sword.
It's an album there. If you break up with her and she breaks up with you, six songs each.
She can do the Taylor Swift style kind of.
Yeah.
We're never getting back together, and then you'd be like, "Oh, can we get back together?" And you both be like, "Yeah." So
there you go.
Cool album as well, because
Yeah,
you'll have like a song for like say track 1, and then track 2 is the reply.
Oh, it could be like a yin yang
constantly
kind of,
like.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, we should encourage breakups more often.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, Sophie, if you're listening, this is the official announcement. But yeah, that's kind of. There's nothing like that. I don't know. Clever about it. I kind of just do it and hope for the best. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's millions of songs that no one will ever hear because they were terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it goes for yourselves where like you'll write something, you go, well, I'm glad I got that out, but I don't think I want to use it or whatever. So, but sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you go, do you know what? I think this is quite good, and it's always good to get a second opinion. But I'm quite flattered that Matt's question was, "What's your process?" Because that's incredibly kind. But yeah, I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, cool. Well, we also have another question. So on Monday we recorded a podcast with Matty Gray from the Gig Co-op.
All right.
And he asked a question, which is, what is your favourite band t-shirt?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh God, I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to go to a lot of gigs. I was a proper goth back in the day. And my thing was that I used to get a t-shirt from every gig I went to.
How do you go from goth to country?
It's in genre, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Country goth.
Going back to standard tuning and I used to be into like, well, I still am. I still like Maiden and AC/DC and people like that. But I used to be really kind of the other way, where I was into like Bring Me the Horizon before they went all poppy and all that kind of stuff. So it was a thing where I'd get a t-shirt from every gig to commemorate the gig and what have you. So because I can't think of one, I'm going to go off the top of my head. The first ever gig I went to was Iron Maiden in 2011-ish.
Yeah.
And the t-shirt that I bought was like, it looked like a front of a comic.
Yeah.
And it had
cool.
Eddie, the Iron Maiden mascot, and all that kind of stuff. I'll say that because I can't think of anything I've bought recently.
And to be fair, Iron Maiden do some hell of like awesome t-shirts. Like the designs are like there's not just Iron Maiden a lot of times.
Oh, do you know what? I've got a different answer.
Go on then.
So it is Iron Maiden still. A different Iron Maiden gig I went to. So on all of their albums and all of their merch, it's like this guy called Eddie who's like the mascot of the band, and he's like a creature from another world or whatever. And one time they played in Newcastle and they did a t-shirt for every single city they were in, and it was Eddie destroying that particular city.
That's cool.
So the t-shirt is
that.
Eddie destroying the Time Bridge. So that's probably my favourite band.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's
a good little like personal touch as well.
Yeah.
I rate that. So on the question mark, we're going to get you to ask 2 questions. Next we have Geoff Mull.
Yeah.
But also when we record our next episode, we've got a lass called Jen Dixon on Monday. So we'd like a question for each artist.
Can I be slightly cheeky and say that this is a question that I do on my podcast?
Of course you can.
So there's a question that we do on our podcast. It's called the Mylchreest Sessions podcast, and a guy called Joe Tracy who we had on. Credit to him, it's his question, and he said we should start using it. And you can have this if you want. The question is: if you could hear a song again for the first time, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Because it makes you think, do you go a song that you like? Do you go a song that you don't like? And it's like...
I guess it's a song where, like, the first time you heard it, you thought, this is something else. I think that's got to be...
I went the other way. I went a song that I've heard too many times and need to, like, forget it and then start again.
Oh,
yeah,
do you know
okay,
what I mean?
I get you.
Okay.
So I went with Tennessee Whiskey because I love the song, but I've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the thing with, like, just, especially songs like that, it's just everyone flipping plays it. And you're
Yeah,
like,
this is also
yeah.
true, yeah. But yeah, that would be my... Did you want two?
Yeah, we've got one for Jen Dixon next week as well. If
All
that's
right, okay. Okay, let's have a think. If you could be friends with a fictional character, who would it be?
Yeah, that's cool. I wouldn't even know the answer to that, actually. That's like... Because you'd think, like, the usual obvious ones, but most fictional characters are, like, I bet they're flipping dicks in real life.
Maybe.
Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I guess
Like,
so,
if you watch the Friends franchise, he is the best friend. Not in terms of the best character, but out of all 6 of them, he's the one that's the best friend to the other 5.
Yeah, he'd be out of pocket quite a bit, though. Borrowing money and that.
Well, it depends which era you get him. He does become a very successful.
Yeah.
I think he's all right, to be fair. Where are you, Jack? You're here. So, the last few things we got with yourself. Do you have a local artist that isn't part of today's event that you want to recommend people to check out?
Yeah, sure. I think the first one that comes to mind is Elizabeth Little.
I was meant to be gigging with her on Saturday.
Yeah, she's really, really cool. We went to school together. She was in the year below me. I didn't know she did music until years later.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I think she's amazing. I think she's so, like, effortlessly good. I think she's really,
To
really
get you on the pod. Have we booked her in yet?
No.
We'll have to get her on the pod. James does this thing where he just books people like 13 weeks in advance, and I'm like, I don't know who we've got on now.
Oh yeah, it's to be honest, that people ask and I go, aye, why we've got like people ask now. It's like, we've got October. Just
a little busy.
Aye.
But cool, Elizabeth Little, go check her out. Final couple questions for yourself, Jack. This episode will come out on the 20th of June.
Great.
So have you got any if James does a job right, so have you got any songs or shows that you want to promote from then onward?
I would say, because nothing between now and then's kind of happening, I will say that obviously we are doing... Do you know, I'm going to get the date for this.
Okay.
I haven't really came prepared. The date for the launch gig, it's in the diary, but it hasn't been sort of booked yet. But by the time this comes out, it probably will be.
Yeah,
So I'll give you the date for that. So on the 21st of September, which is a Thursday, we're doing a launch gig for the City Break EP, which is what I mentioned earlier with the Kickstarter and stuff. We've got 12 quid to go on the Kickstarter, so I'm assuming that we'll get that by the time this comes out.
Yeah,
hopefully. Thursday, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a Thursday. It's a Thursday for a reason. It's a Thursday because last time
all the musicians work on the weekend.
Musicians work on a weekend, so it's more likely that musicians can come down. The last one was really great. We did it at the Prohibition. This time we're doing it at the Clooney 2.
Clooney 2 is a nice one.
Clooney 2 is great.
I kind of prefer the Clooney one, to be fair.
Yeah, me too.
I think I prefer Clooney.
Both are great, but
nicer dressing rooms.
Yeah, dressing room.
Yeah, a dressing room. Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah. So yeah, the City Break EP comes out, and the day after that, the 22nd of September. It's in the process of being mixed right now, and like I say, we've probably got the Kickstarter by the time this comes out, and that's pretty much it.
Mint. Well, we've got 10 seconds left, so where can people find you on social media, plus your podcast on social media?
At Jack Mylchreest, that's Jack Mylchreest on everything, and the podcast is the Limetree Sessions podcast at Limetree Sessions.
Mint. Thank you very much, Pop.
Thank you very much, lads.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Enjoy your set.
Thank you very
can't
much.
see it because we're doing this.
Thank you very much.
Sure, it'll be great. Enjoy it, and we're going to get Jeff wherever he's hiding.
Cheers, lads.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jack. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I was just literally on.
That together we can be just you and me, you and me. When I say those 3 words, I love you.
Turn that down. It's a bit down a bit. I know.
Oh, 2 intros. That's how good we are.
Yeah, that's.
So welcome back to our HMV takeover at MetroCentre. With us this time we have Geoff Mull.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, Geoff?
I'm good. All good. Yeah.
Cool. We were meant to get you on a few weeks back, but there was a bit of a changeover. So
Yeah.
it's great to see you doing well.
Yeah, it's good to be on. It's been a podcast that popped up on Instagram a couple of months ago. Followed the page and I love it.
Thank you very
I
much.
love what you're doing, man. It's good.
I think we tried to get you on after seeing you at HMV Newcastle.
Yeah.
Have you done all the HMVs in the UK yet, or?
Not all of them. We've done quite a few.
Yeah.
We've done Leeds, Carlisle, Newcastle MetroCentre. We've had a few get in touch. Livingston, Nottingham, Oxford.
Brilliant.
So
you do
the
a
plan
full
is
tour,
to
can't
do.
you?
Yeah, it is.
That's
A bit cool to see you doing a HMV tour. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's all good. It's going well.
Good.
Just getting where we can, as you know.
yeah, it's
Good.
Do what we can.
Yeah. That's
So just for our viewers who may not know who you are, can you explain who you are, what kind of genre you do?
Yeah, so I'm Geoff Mull, singer-songwriter from Gateshead, Newcastle, living in Durham now. Not that makes any difference, but I just like to let people know where I'm based. Been doing this quite a long time. Started off cover gigs, as we do,
Yeah.
and then been doing original stuff for the last 10 years. It'll be coming up. My first album was released in 2014, so March next year. That's gonna be a 10-year sort of milestone, which is pretty cool. But yeah, genre-wise, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's honestly
It's hard to pinpoint these
people,
days.
Everyone, because you get influenced by so many different people now. It's like it's almost like even like the pop, like the mainstream music. You can't really put an exact genre on it because it's
You can't.
it's a mixture of a little bit of everything, which is good. I think
Yeah,
it's
it
good
is, to
anyway.
be fair, because the first album, it was called Different, and it was just because there was a
bit
a
of
piano
everything.
ballad, an acoustic track, an acoustic pop rock track,
Yeah.
a reggae track, an R&B funky sort of track. So we called it Different, and then we started getting views of why that was my favourite song, or the reggae one I loved, or the pop one I loved. And since then, I think we've just been riding
Yeah.
whatever we feel we release. Like, we're not going for a genre. We're not
Yeah.
like a pop or funk or whatever. We just go with what.
It's a good way to kind of like focus your writing as well, because you're not sitting there constricting yourself, saying like, I'm gonna write a reggae song today.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like you
Write what happens.
You write what you feel and you think, this sounds
That's exactly
cool,
it.
and that's like
That's how it's been, because since the album, we dropped a 4-track EP in December 2015, and then from then I haven't released an EP or an album. It's just been single after single.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Hoping for one of them to pop soon. But now we love what we do, and we're just cracking on and writing and releasing every 2 to 3 months if we can.
That's that busy.
If I can do more.
Cool. Do you have a personal favourite track that you've released in the last 10 years?
Oh, personal track. Personal, like emotional issue. I lost a cousin in 2000, 25th of April. 8 years old. He passed away. Freak
Sad,
horse
yeah.
accident. It was sad.
Oh no,
We were both 8 at the time, in the same year at school.
it must be difficult as well. At
Yeah,
that
it's
age.
horrible, man.
Yeah.
It's I mean, as much as I was 8 years old, I can remember it like
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah.
round to my auntie's house where he was, or where he should have been, and he didn't come home. You know, he was out and he had a bad accident on a horse.
So sad.
So I sat down. It must be about 12 years ago. You know, one of my other aunties went on holiday, and I was house sitting,
Yeah,
and I had the house to myself for a week, and I think I must have wrote about 3, 4, 5 songs just that week, and one of them was "I Can Feel You, My Son," and that was about him, which I'll probably be performing in the restaurant or in the mall. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I mean, I need to learn the chords. I haven't played guitar live at a gig for about 5, 6 years.
It's different when
So-
you've got a full band behind you,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like it's
I panicked yesterday, got my guitar out the loft somewhere, and I was going through some chords and thinking, right, I should be all right, but I'll just go with it. But yeah, "I Can Feel You, My Son's probably been one of my biggest hits, to be fair. It'll be in the millions, I think, on Facebook now. 13, 14 million, I think.
Brilliant.
The video's got.
God.
YouTube, it's done all right. Maybe 500,000 or something, I think. Last time I checked, anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it's been one of my most streamed songs on Spotify as well. It's just really personal.
Yeah.
People always think it's about my son. Obviously, with "I Can Feel You, My
Yeah.
Son,"
Yeah.
but the son is a Geordie thing.
Yeah.
You call
Yeah.
everyone son.
Aye,
You alright,
it is,
son?
aye, yeah,
Oh, how's
aye.
son? You alright? So people do get it mixed up. I get messages like every day. every single day from all over the world.
But if people are listening to the song and it reminds them of their son, then it's like
it reminds them of everything. Like I've known people with daughters or with grands or granddads or dads or mums. Like I know a few people who have changed the word son to like love or mum or girl to make it fit their personal thing, which is fine.
Yeah,
you know.
Cool.
But
that's it. Once the song's out, it's everyone's then, isn't it?
That's
exactly
it. It's a funny thing. Ed Sheeran always said, like, songs are yours until you release them.
Yeah.
And then they become everyone's because they can relate to them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, speaking of songs, we got a question off Jack just before, and he wants to know if you could hear a song again for the first time, which song would it be?
Hear a song again for the first time. Oh, that's a hard question.
We should really like prep people before we ask these questions because they're quite deep. When he asked that question, I was kind of like,
I'm probably going to go with a song that did really hit us at the time, and I think it was James Blunt, "Goodbye My Lover."
Yeah, good choice.
When I first heard that, I was like, wow. I need to cover this, and I think it was on one of my first cover albums, and that might have been back in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, right.
But "Goodbye My Lover," when I first heard that one listen to that, it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. There was a point where James Blunt had like the #1 wedding song and the #1 funeral song.
Yeah.
It was like "You're Beautiful" was like
Beautiful.
Most people played that at the wedding.
Was
then "Goodbye My Lover," most people played that at the funeral.
That's right.
I mean, that's some feat for a song
It
like
is,
that.
definitely.
He's a mad lad on Twitter and all, which is a...
He's crazy. But yeah.
We had a Matt Gray from Gigco on the last time we did a podcast, and he asked a few questions, and we're going to ask yourself, do you have a uniform when you go on stage? Anything you like specifically need to wear, or?
Not exactly. I'm all about my accessories.
Yeah.
I mean, a cap. I wear a cap a lot. Chains, rings.
Like that. I always have this. I've had this bracelet for ages. It's tearing apart.
As long as I've got something on, like without them on, I feel naked.
Yeah.
It's weird, but like uniform, costume wise, I wear what I feel. Yeah.
Style.
Yeah.
Cool. And
Good
just
question,
going on,
though. Good question.
just going on questions, because we've got Steve on after yourself.
Yeah.
Would like to know if you've got a question for Steve for him to answer in the next section.
A question for Steve. If he writes his own original music, what's his favourite out of his songs that he's got?
That's cool. Yeah.
Cool. And we also, when we record on Monday next week, we've got a last Jen Dixon in. Could you give us a question we can ask her as well?
Jen Dixon. What can we ask Jen? Maybe what's her favourite venue she's played
I like that
in the Northeast?
Yeah. I like that one.
And why?
And what? Yeah.
And why?
Yeah, you got to have a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. We don't get a lot of like music questions when we ask questions.
We don't. It's usually kind
the
of
other
like...
one is, what's your favourite blue food?
Yeah.
So before we let you go, is there any local artists that you've worked with or you know of that you think they're pretty good, excluding anyone in today's event?
I think I'll just have to go with the two support acts that I had at my headline gigs a couple of weeks back. There's a girl called Sophie Gordon.
Yes, yeah, I know Sophie.
Yeah, she's doing really well from when I first met her when she was a kid. You know, she was doing like talent shows. I was doing the sound and the AV and stuff, and seeing where she's came from to what she's doing now and writing and releasing her own stuff, it's pretty cool. And each time I've seen her perform, she's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
So I think she's in the running to do well. And Jen and Liv.
Yeah.
Two girls.
Knew them from busking as well.
Busking on the streets.
Yeah.
I knew Liv again from the talent show scene and little music events I used to put on a couple of years back as well. So I've known her for a while. But 2-3 years ago, I was walking up Northumberland Street. I think I was out with my mum and my little boy, and I just heard these harmonies coming from Northumberland Street. And if I'm out, I hear good music.
Like
I've got to go and check it out. So I went and had a look, and it was Jen and Liv, and I was like, oh, like I recognised Liv straight away. And just went up, I think I put a $5 or a $10 or something in the box for them. And then my gigs came up, and I thought, like, I'd love to hear them live in a live situation, PA, a little theatre, and it was good. So yeah, Sophie Gordon and Jen and Liv, shout out to you.
Give them a shout out.
It just shows like the effect of actually going on the street and busking. Like you just never know who's walking past.
I've
Yeah, I
never,
normally use it
I've
as
never
like a
done it, you
promo
know.
thing. Oh, yeah?
I've never done it.
It's all right. I do it
wouldn't
more in
mind
the
it.
winter.
I wouldn't mind it, but I've never done it.
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times, but like I've never used an amp or anything. So it's always like the only people who hear are just the people just come past
Yeah.
you, and you've just got to shout louder than you usually do.
Unless you've got people these days with the big batteries and they've got like a full-on PA system, you're like,
It's hard.
how?
No.
I've got a battery power busking amp. It just takes like 6 AA's and it works.
Really?
But eventually, you don't know when it's going to die until you can hear it getting tinny. You're like, oh, that doesn't sound great.
How long does that normally last though?
I'll probably get like 4 hours out of it.
No,
so
that's
it's not
cool,
too bad.
man. Like
It's a long time.
2 to 3, 4 hours of singing a few songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
Normally
cool.
pays for the next set of batteries.
It is something I do want to try in the future soon. I'll get round to maybe just jumping on someone's busking session if I'm going past it. Like,
Absolutely.
can I do a song?
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
But yeah,
Just before we run out of time, so this is going to be released on the 20th of June. Have you got any songs or shows from then onward you want to give a little plug out?
from then onward, not really.
Cool.
The latest single just came out. That came out a couple of weeks back, called Unexpected. Again, it's a very sort of 1975 Charlie Puth sort of vibe. That's out now, new single.
Get that streamed. Unexpected.
I've just had my headline gigs in Gateshead. They went really well. Really, really proud, buzzing with them. I'm playing a festival in Sunderland on the 23rd of June.
Cool.
What's that one called?
I think it's like a food and
Oh,
drink
right, it's like,
festival,
yeah,
like
cool.
in
Yeah.
King's
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Right,
I need to shape up on that. But yeah, I'm in the middle of producing the next song. It's written. It's in the studio, just in production stage. It is what it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Oh, right.
So there's an,
I thought,
it
yeah.
is what it is.
there's an exclusive. It is what it is. That'll be coming out hopefully maybe. I'm gonna say July, mid-July time.
Brilliant.
Cool.
It's like a
with-
summer vibe kind of thing.
To be fair, I think it'll fit really well on like so Love Island.
Right, okay.
I
So it's
can
a very-
hear it. I can already hear it.
Very
right?
acoustic,
Yeah.
chilled, atmospheric.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There we are.
Oh,
Or when someone's
super
just like,
explicit.
I don't want to go out with you anymore.
Yeah, and then you just fade in Geoff Mull. It is what it
Yeah.
is. Perfect
Aye.
song for it.
I want you to sound clip that out as well for a soundboard, if that's
But yeah,
okay.
that'll be coming out hopefully mid July time if we can get it sorted. But we've got no pressure. We're not
Yeah,
signed. We're not under any record label. No management.
Do what you need
I'm
to do.
independent.
Yeah.
If and when I want to release anything, I do. You know. So
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
And just finally, before we let you go, have you got any socials that people can find you online with?
Yeah, just all over. Geoff Mull Music is normally me tag. At Geoff Mull Music on Instagram, TikTok. It's just Geoff Mull Music on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Geoff Mull. We have a lot of stuff on there, covers and obviously a lot of originals on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Or visit the website, geoffmull.com. A lot of stuff on there, merch, dates, about me section, which there's some secrets in there which people don't know, so check
Cool.
that out.
Awesome.
But yeah, this has been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
We'll
for
get
having
you
us
on
on.
for a full pod because I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we could talk for hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
we could, easy.
absolutely, yeah.
I was gutted when I had to cancel that, but I literally, if it was just not filmed,
Yeah.
I would have came in and just kept me distance, but it can,
Just like
conjunctivitis can be pretty contagious.
I know, it can.
And I just couldn't see, like
Yeah.
my eyes were just so bloodshot and sticky.
That's
But
all right.
we'll get around to that because
Absolutely.
I think we'll have a good crack on there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Thank you very much for coming down.
worries,
Enjoy
thanks.
your set. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back with Steve Pledge.
And
Swish.
I enjoyed that.
Sweet man.
Yeah, that's one of them that we could have talked for ages on.
Yeah.
Turns will rise, oh, like Lazarus, when the master comes. When I struck fire, take their flowers. Then choose tonight,
I think that was a great way to start the pod, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, yeah. And welcome back.
Let's do it. Hi guys, just gonna do a little wave
Yeah.
promo.
Hello.
Welcome to the most professional podcast in the northeast. My name's Conor Michael. This is James Berry, and with us, oh my god, I turned this off. I thought I was going quiet.
I was like, is that no? You've just turned your bloody thing.
Oh.
We're back, baby! Third time, lucky.
Oh, don't trust it. So welcome back to the most professional podcast in the northeast. My name's Conor Michael. This is James Berry, and with us we have Steve Pledge.
Hello there.
It's James.
I'm the sound guy.
It's pleasure, but don't worry too much. I've been called so much worse. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, there's an
absolutely
R. Of course you are.
Sorry, man.
Oh my god, I am not great at
I'm
this.
sorry,
Steve.
I thought, do I say it or not? I thought, no, I've
Oh,
got to say it.
always say it. Yeah.
Take 4. No.
Oh, hey, this is a long day.
You know what? That's usually me who does that.
I know.
I get the names. I always get names mixed up and,
That's
and
your thing,
mistaken.
normally.
That's my thing.
He's treading on your toes.
Not only is he using my soundboard, he's also doing my thing.
Stealing his mistakes.
Making mistakes for names.
So, very relevant question, the first one. Who are you? In what genre describes yourself?
Right. Well, my name's Steve Pledger. I'm a solo singer-songwriter. As for what genre, I've never been entirely sure. I mean, I
change
kind
these
of.
questions.
It's a valid question. I just wish I had a better answer.
Nobody has an answer.
Honestly, I think singer-songwriter is like a genre within itself.
Yeah.
It's a kind of catch-all term, isn't it?
Singer-songwriter.
Well, I'm going to alter the question a bit. What influences got you into where you're at now?
That's a better question.
Wow, that's a
There
good
we
question
go.
too.
So that is
okay.
Yeah.
So I would be looking at people such as Cat Stevens, Don McLean, Bob Dylan.
Oh, even better.
John McClane on Die Hard.
Sorry, Don McLean.
Don-
Yeah, Don McLean.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, exactly. ... So sort of the kind of classic acoustic troubadours, I guess, if you like, of the 70s onwards. So that's where my main sort of noticeable influences lie, I think.
Yeah.
And that kind of puts me in the sort of Dylan tradition, if you like. I'm not comparing myself, of course.
James does.
I do all the time.
But yeah, I guess that sort of lineage of artist, if you like.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So just before yourself, we had Geoff Mull on, and he wants to know if you could write your own. Well, if you do write your own originals, what's your favourite of your own songs?
Yeah, that's such a hard question to answer, isn't it? Favourite, possibly. There's a song of mine called "Friends and Fathers" off of my second album, which is "Striking Matches in the Wind." That's just kind of one of those songs that comes along and you feel like it's complete. You know, there's an arc to it, musically and lyrically and everything. And I think that might be one of the songs that I feel most pleased with, if you like.
Yeah.
That's my answer to Geoff, I think.
That's cool.
It's a good question.
So last week we had Matt Gray from the Gig Co app, and he wants to know what's your favourite band T-shirt?
Oh man, favourite band T-shirt. Well, here you go. First of all, my favourite band is Rush, the Canadian rock band, which is like so different to what I do musically.
Yeah, I was going to say that is quite
totally different. But I love them to bits, and certainly in terms of attitude and everything, they've been one of the biggest influences on me. Not that you'd hear it. So it's probably going to be a Rush T-shirt. As to which one, I don't know. Let's go classic with the Starman.
Yeah,
the Starman kind of 2112 style. Yeah, can't beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Proud to fly that flag.
And then we've got a couple of questions for the next guest. We've got Dan VHX. Can you give us a question we can ask them?
Right, a question for Dan. Is there a? Oh no, that's too corny. Is there a song you want to write but haven't yet found a way of approaching it? But it's kind of been brewing away for maybe months or years.
Good question.
And you're just waiting to find that way in, because I find that can be a.
I've got loads of them.
Yeah.
Like,
We've all got
I want to
Train
write this.
tracks. It's still I'm working on it every
second.
second.
I love that
That's
question.
it. So I'd be interested to know if that's the case for him. Yeah.
Cool. And we've got a guest on next week called Jen Dixon. Can we get a question for her from yourself there?
Yeah. Okay. Tempted to ask the same question, but I'm not going to. That's a cop out. Jen, if you could support any one artist, past or present, who you feel would best suit your own sort of style of music, and that you could really imagine gelling with, in terms of creating this whole gig together, who would you play? I say support, might be a double headline. I don't wish to put it down.
I see a lot of them.
Who would you perform with? Yeah.
I'm seeing more of them recently, like double headliners.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Remember there was Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake.
I love them.
They were doing a double tour, and there's tickets go on sale tomorrow. Actually, I'm definitely going to get some, especially with Bowling for Soup and Real Big Fish.
Oh, what?
They're doing a double headliner.
That'd be cool.
Like,
That sounds like a hell of a gig.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for.
And
But
like
there's
2
loads of,
songs from Bowling for Soup or something.
you have to go to the gig and you find out.
That's right.
But yeah, there's
A Real Big Fish is just insane.
I love them. They like
Such
it's
good
just a
musicians.
fun. It's just a fun band.
Oh, absolutely,
It's a
yeah.
fun band.
But a fun band that you don't kind of feel embarrassed to.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
it.
They're just consummate musicians and everything.
Yeah.
Just don't take themselves too seriously, but
Yeah.
amazing players.
So what song are you looking forward to playing today?
Oh wow. Yeah, I think I've got a few songs that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
of playing.
Do you have a set list already, or are you just going to walk on and go, I should play
I just
this
kind of go and sort of
see
see
what
what
you think
comes out, really. I think, yeah. I mean, there's a song that I will play, I think, of mine called "The Parable of Intent," which is just all about the fact that I think we all want to do the best we can. We all want to make the world a better place while we're here, but we get sort of steamrolled and waylaid by circumstance and people who have more power to wield than we do.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to kind of come out the other end of life, either as an individual or as a generation, and going, actually, I didn't do what I wanted to do. And it's about trying to hold on to those intentions and make them happen. So,
Yeah, you start off kind of like 18 years old wanting to change the world, and then life just slowly crushes you.
That's it, yeah.
Year by year.
Yeah.
Sorry to make this weird. But
This is the life of a musician.
You just end up kind of raising your fist and shouting at cars
Yeah,
with a couple
exactly,
of carrier
yeah.
bags and some right-wing tosh or something.
Yeah.
No, let's not go there. Let's not become that.
So where is it you're playing? Is it just the MetroCentre malls? I should have read this before I got
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, so this evening I'm playing at the MetroCentre malls from about 6 or something, a few songs, and then I'm down in Darlington tomorrow. I've got a few more gigs coming up in the northeast. I mean, I live up this way now, maybe about half an hour away.
Where are you originally from? Because you don't have a Geordie accent.
You noticed that? Yeah, you picked up on that. Yeah, originally Cambridgeshire.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, but we've moved around, and then we moved up this way about 6 years ago, and
sweet.
absolutely love it. Live in County Durham. Don't want to be anywhere else now.
Was there anything that drove you to the northeast?
Well, we were kind of having to look at relocating anyway. That was just it wasn't a witness program thing. We were just having to look at
You are the Thompsons now. Yeah, Simpsons reference there.
exactly that. And I'd been coming up this way to play a few gigs we were living down in Somerset at the time. I'd sort of come up this way on tour a couple of times and sort of just love the area and the people, and just remember saying to my wife, if we're going to go somewhere, one of the places we could look at is the northeast. And we did, and here we are. So yeah.
Same with my parents. Like, my parents from Manchester.
Oh, okay.
They moved up here for work, but like they love the coast. Like, because in Manchester you don't get any beach or anything like that.
Sure.
When we were growing up, we were just at the beach every single day, rain or shine. Because it was like, you don't know how lucky you are to have a beach right next to you. You know,
that's it.
That black night,
and it's the coastline in this part of the world is sort of so unspoilt, and it still kind of retains some of that sort of ruggedness, and it feels like a natural place to be. Right, and I'm not knocking these other places, of course, but rather than a sort of contrived seaside resort, you feel like you're somewhere real and
honestly,
organic.
Like Bamber Coast is one of my favourite coasts.
Beautiful,
Like,
stunning up
I
there.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
So we've got you on for just over a minute and a half left. Could you give us a local artist recommendation? You want to give them a shout out that isn't involved in today's event?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's a few folks I've come across since we moved up this way, and I would definitely mention this guy called Sam Slatcher, who's also in County Durham. Sam Slatcher, he's just another guy who wears his heart on his sleeve and writes about things that are important to him. He's a real good soul, and a beautiful player and singer as well, and writes some gorgeous songs. Bridie Jackson, who we're saying about double headlines, I did a double headliner with her. She's Durham based as well. A week or two ago. She's fantastic too. So yeah, I definitely seek those guys out.
Cool. And with this episode will be out about the 20th of June. Have you got any songs or shows you want to plug from then onward?
Yeah, cool. In terms of songs, I've got this relatively new album called What Tomorrow Knows, which is available on the website along with all my other stuff. And then the next sort of localish gig I'm playing is in Bensham on the 14th of July at Cafe Under the Spire. In fact, I went there earlier today because I was coming up this way.
Yeah.
It's just a knockout venue, and so I'm going to be doing a show there 14th of July, and that's going to include like a Bangladeshi street sort of village buffet kind of thing. It's £25 a ticket, and that's going to be a lovely evening. So if anyone can make that, it'd be great
Absolutely.
to see us.
Cool. And just finally, if people were to find you online, what's your social media tags?
Yeah, well, stevepledger.co.uk is the website, and pretty much from there you can find me anywhere. So I'm mainly Steve Pledger or Steve Pledger Music, as I am on Facebook. And but yeah, the website's a good place to start. And, links to it, as it is these days, links to everywhere else. But yeah, please check out what I do, and hope to see you somewhere.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. Enjoy your set. We'll let you get ready.
Thanks, man. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you both.
Yeah, cool.
And,
cheers, guys. Thanks
see
for having me.
See you on the next one.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down.
You know that soundboard far better than me, like,
We're getting there.
Like fly on the wall.
I just like looking at what you've got.
So I've got off the stage 2, home tonight, back in my mind, mate. I need to update it. I'm going to update the
we need some new
soundboard.
soundboards. I want the Geoff Mullen one. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'll get that on.
Geoff Mull. I've called him Geoff Mullen in the last two podcasts.
Always called him Geoff Mullen. Just like he's...
Oh, right. Welcome back to our second final part. I think we're going to do a little section myself at the end. Where we have Dan VHX.
What's that one?
Thank you.
James is meant to be on the soundboard, but if he doesn't do it in a second, I try and take it.
To be honest, like because I came straight from practice to here, so I'm a bit like Daisy Mines. So it's like, welcome, Dan.
Yeah.
I just like blank face.
So first question for yourself there, Dan. Who are you?
Well, multi-instrumentalist, really. I don't quite know. I think it might have just been a little error there. It's not VHX, actually. I think Mason's got the... I think I gave him the... I told him years ago we were doing it.
It wasn't my fault. That is what I received, though.
Dan VHX.
I called Steve Pledger Pledge in the last one.
Oh, that's fine. Yes. The band is Emil's telegraphic transmission device, and we did think about changing the name years ago, so I think that's where Mason's probably got the idea from, but...
I'm just going to call you Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, that's fine. So you say multi-instrumentalist. Do you play multiples on stage? You just have like a set?
In the studio, multiples, yeah.
Okay.
On stage, it can sort of go between vocals, keyboards, and bass guitar.
Cool.
So obviously you can only do, it's not like you have a keyboard with a bass guitar attached to it. But yeah. So
is it kind of like do you use like loops when, or is it just like, do you just switch with are you like in a band that you kind of switch instruments after each song, or is it like, how does it?
Not necessarily, no. Yeah. So when there's a duo of us, there's just the two of us. So one's on keyboards, Andrew's on keyboards, and I'm on bass guitar. And we've got like a backing track that we play through
cool.
main stage. But if there's a drummer as well, then we'll just stay static.
Cool.
If there's a song with no bass guitar, and I'll get behind the keyboards and do some keyboards.
Makes sense.
But
You play whatever instrument suits the song best.
Yeah, exactly. Whichever one's more predominant in that song. Yeah.
Cool. So what kind of influences got you to where you are now?
So actually, like most musicians, it's kids when they listen to what their parents listen to.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, my mum had like loads of like records from the 80s and stuff. So mostly Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, Kraftwerk, Aha, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So those are the main influences, and I think they stuck with me through my teenage years and then into adulthood, and obviously they stay with the person.
Yeah.
Cool. Things like the Beatles as well. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
If you wonder why me and James gave each other a really weird look, it's because for the last 4 guests we had on, it was always what's your genre, and everyone went, oh, I don't think I've got a specific genre. Yeah. And we've just changed it to what influences, and I just seen James give us the whole, that's a better question.
Because if you ask what influences you are, it just gives a better understanding of what your music's about. Because it is hard these days, especially in the modern world, to try and like pinpoint yourself into a specific genre.
Yeah.
Even though every time you try and like upload something to like BBC Introduce, and they go, what genre are you? And he's got to try and guess.
Yeah, it's hard to pigeonhole it.
Yeah.
Influences can be from anything really, and I think that's the best way to look at it, because it can't just be one specific genre. Because I mean, you've got the Beatles, rock, Kraftwerk, electronic, Orchestral Manoeuvres, electronic, and Aha, kind of in between, rock pop.
Yeah, that is
so.
Absolutely. We got a question from Steve just before yourself was on, and he says, is there a song that you want to write but you haven't found a way to approach it yet? You got the idea there, but it's not been written.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think the songs that I've wanted to write, I've written.
Right.
I've been sat on about 4 or 5 songs since through lockdown that are ultimately finished, but I don't know how to progress them because it's very hard to sort of finalize them in the sense, because the last album I did, I think I can't do better than that, because the sound that was kind of came from God knows where. It's like, how do I top that?
Yeah.
So it's trying to sort of, because I feel like with these new songs, I've kind of taken a step back in how the band sounds. So I want to kind of try and top that. In terms of writing a song that I'd like to write, I think I've said all I need to say right now.
Yeah.
But if I had a chance, if I had a time machine, I'd definitely go back and nick some songs.
Yeah.
What would be the song that you would like, that you'd say you've like, I've heard that, I wish I can, I'll go back in time before they wrote it, and like I'll write that. What would be your...
Absolutely, hands down, Enola Gay.
Enola Gay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't know what mine would be. Mine keeps changing. I'd love to like. Yours used to be the song I was always wanted to write was "Bridge Over Troubled Water."
Yeah.
But I've neither the voice for it or the guitar playing skills, so it'd be completely wasted on me. So
I used to want Shape of You, Ed Sheeran, not because it's a great song. It's like the first Spotify to go to the billion mark.
Yeah.
With the amount of lawsuits he gets, I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. I know. I just don't touch
just
any.
Stay
Ed
away
Sheeran,
from Ed
just
songs
like,
now. So we had a question from Matty Gray on the Gig Co-op from last week's episode, and he wants to know if you could eat blue food, and it was safe to do so.
Yep.
Would you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Will do. Have done. It's nice.
What blue food have you?
Mostly the I think there was a burger that Weatherspoons did years ago where it was the blue cheese.
Ooh,
blue cheese and brie.
It's like, you know, when SpongeBob had that episode with the different coloured Krabby Patties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the theory of Krabby Patties is that actually crabs.
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs is a cannibal.
Yeah.
And like he killed all, because there's no other crabs on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So he's the only crab. So he captures all the crabs and makes them into Krabby Patties. That's why you never know what the secret ingredient is.
That's quite a theory.
Because the secret ingredient is crab.
Yeah.
So there. I just thought I'd get that out. Just I don't know. It's been bubbling up on the system.
I'm sure there's like a whale theory on SpongeBob because of his door being a whale as well. I can't remember what that is. Whether he's got a kidnapped door.
Yeah, I wouldn't
remember.
know how that works out as well. Like, how does a crab with a whale? But anyway, you know, it's a children's cartoon, I guess. So it's like I shouldn't look so deeply into it.
Always look deeply into it. They're the ones that have the main meaning.
Yeah, they do.
So next week on our podcast we have a lass called Jen Dixon, and we'd just like to know if you've got a question that we could ask Jen to kind of get the ball rolling next week.
If you could play a venue in the entire world, where would it be? Number one venue
in the world would be your first choice.
Yeah.
Priority, I'll go.
So that's quite like got quite a venue because the other, I'm sure was it Geoff said what
he said what's your favourite venue you've played in the northeast?
Yeah, in the northeast. So we'll go northeast and we go worldwide.
Yes. Oh, look at me doing my prep for next week's episode.
I know. It's honestly
I'm in advance.
We're usually kind of like, we start the podcast, I'm like, so hello, welcome, and he's just like typing up kind of what he's planning on writing. It's just like we're so unorganised.
So with us being a local music podcast, we've been asking everybody if they could recommend a local artist that isn't involved in today's event.
Absolutely.
Who would you like to give a shout out to?
There are some lads who I went to uni with. They're based in Richmond. They're called the Ceiling Demons. They're very hip hop kind of garage.
Ceiling Demons.
Ceiling Demons. Yes, I believe that they started out because they had a friend who'd sadly committed suicide.
Oh, okay.
And they'd done it as a kind of like as a band to sort of commemorate and sort of bring awareness of suicide and depression across. But the tunes, the first album is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yes.
That's a cool
Haven't
name.
seen them in a while, but they're really, really cracking lads.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds cool. We'll have to check them out.
Ceiling Demons.
So with this episode coming out about the 20th of June, have you got any shows or songs you want to push from then onward?
Yes, we're playing HMV on the 17th, on Saturday the 17th at 1.
This is HMV Gateshead.
This is Gateshead, yes.
I think we missed it by 3 days.
And it's
I hear it went well.
Yeah. Yes, it went very well. It's the first gig we've had actually since before COVID, because like most artists, that kind of pushed everything back.
Yeah.
Hard to find festivals, hard to find gigs, and you just have to sort of take what you can get, really.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to it. So we're going to have some rehearsals and fingers crossed.
That's cool.
Smash it.
It's a good little venue. It's a good little opportunity, HMV. I mean, I don't know about you, but like when I was like young growing up, like HMV was like the staple place where you got all your CDs, and that's how you kind of grow up listening to music, and it's like that kind of relationship. That's why I quite like what HMV are doing now, where it's like you get to actually play at like in a shop, in a venue, and they sell you, like you can sell your own CDs there. So yeah, I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
So if HMV's watching, feel free to endorse us.
Yeah.
And just finally, for anybody who's been watching this, have you got any social media tags that people can find you on?
We don't have social media because we try and keep things in one place. We've got a website, which is ettdofficial.com.
What's that? ETTD?
ettdofficial.com.
ETTD.
Yep.
Echo. I can't
Tango Delta.
Echo Tango Delta.
Yeah. Charlie Oscar Mike.
Yeah. Something like that.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Yeah, that's all I want.
Well, thank you very much, Dan, for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to let you get ready for your show.
Yeah,
we're going to do a little 5-minute chat to kind of summarise the podcast. I don't know what else I'm going to say.
Yeah,
thanks for having me. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you very much for coming down.
Cheers.
And enjoy your show.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Man. And
cheers.
We'll see you in a bit.
Cool. That's funny when I don't have.
People are going to look at us thinking really weird. They can't actually. We're in a really busy shop. People are just because they can't hear anything through. We can only hear what.
We should do like a live session where we actually have like the soundboard.
You know
plays out
what?
the speakers.
I've been thinking like we should eventually do like an off the stage live, like ticketed event. Just see what happens. You might get 3 people turn up. You might get
like a Q&A from the audience.
Yeah, it's like a Q&A. Just joining people. We'll get like a musician up and they can do like a couple songs and stuff like that. I reckon it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and said we went festival first.
We did, but you know, we'll just try a little bit of everything and just Anyway, we digress.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, guys. Thank you very much for everyone who's listened to this episode. I'm presuming you have, because if you got this part, you either fast forwarded. Well, first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to HMV in general. Obviously, we've worked alongside Newcastle and now MetroCentre.
Yeah.
You've gigged Sunderland. I've gigged Sunderland.
Yeah.
I've gigged Birmingham. Just overall, I want to say a big shout out to HMV putting on the live and locals. It's been quite a good kind of
it means a lot
thing.
It means a lot to like local artists to have a platform that is HMV with where you can actually bring your CDs in and they'll sell it for you, you know. It's,
and it's I believe it's every HMV. I know I sound like Porky Pig from the Looney Tunes. That's all, folks. But yeah, if you're not from the Northeast, if you're watching or listening to our podcast from anywhere else in the UK, go check out your local HMV. They'll have a live and local section. This has been quite fun, considering we didn't really plan a lot of it.
No, well, basically, you says, what you doing Thursday? It's like, working. It's like, do you not want to work and do you want to do a podcast in HMV? What does it imply? I don't know. Okay, no problem.
That sounds like me.
So we've just pretty much, but yeah, it's a proper takeover event, isn't it? From the MetroCentre by HMV, just to bring a bit of interest into the MetroCentre, really, isn't it? That's give it something for people to go to enjoy, and free music. What more do you want?
Exactly. I want to shout out to all the guests that we've had on today. Go check them all out. I'm sure James will find their Instagram tags if they've got them and put them on. Next week we come back with Jen Dixon. I'm going to add a new section called Up and Personal.
Ooh, okay.
And this is where the guest we have on is going to have to tell us about the most intimate personal songs they've written / released and what it's about, and kind of get that bit more.
Ooh, like in depth. Yeah. Call it in too deep. That sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it?
It sounds like you're ripping off. I
was literally ripping off some 41 song, but I was thinking it might have been a bit more innuendo-y as well.
Yeah,
so.
It's not a.
Let's not get scratch that.
Yeah, we're going to call it Up and Personal.
Up and Personal.
I'm going to put duct tape in James' mouth. It's been good. It's not been as long as the first HMV we did, but we did do basically a festival and a podcast in one day.
Yeah, that's it. It was a long.
This was
long
just a chat,
which I quite enjoyed. I mean, it felt quick fire rounds, but I felt we got a lot out of people in just 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so I think it was all right.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the 2 lads that walked past thinking, "Oh, these people don't get any listens." Oh well. Just want to shout you out, and if this makes its way back to you, we proved you wrong. Please do follow us. We're at Off The Stage UK, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The gig guides are back every Monday, as long as I remember to do it. Is there anything you need to plug from the 20th onward? Is there anything I need to plug?
No, I don't think so. I think I need to message Rich, because I think he's put us on for what's the Garden Lane in South Shields.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's put us on there for the 30th. Garden Lane. No, it's not. It's not the other one, any. Garden Lane in South Shields.
Right,
he he did his thing, keep that date free.
Yeah.
But I haven't really heard much about it, so I'm gonna have to message him. So I'm probably playing the 30th of June at Garden Lane in South Shields.
I love the confidence you got in your gigs.
Yeah, I know, I love it. This is why I need a manager. So I'm gonna ask Kat to be my manager.
Next time you can catch me with the Originals is a Costella festival over in Tynemouth area. I'm going to be playing on a bus, I think. Again, I don't know a great deal of my stuff.
No.
It's been good fun. This has been a good way to kind of get back into the second year, really.
Yeah, I think so.
Second episode of the second year.
I mean, shows where we've came from, like, from a year ago, really, how we've developed, and now we're doing podcasts live in a shop.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit mental, really.
Yeah. I'm looking at Guardians of the Galaxy over there. I might buy a pop figure.
Ooh, go for it.
Thank you very much, everyone who's listened. Please drop us a like, subscribe, a comment, 5-star review, whatever you can. Let us know you're listening. Comment your favourite bit, comment your favourite artist, comment your least favourite artist. Let's start some controversy. Controversy? Aye, that one. I've been Conor Michael. That's been James Berry. We might have a bit of music at the end. We might not.
I don't know. I'm going to see if there's, because the plan was to film people with the footage of them actually playing outside, but then they were already playing, and we're in here recording. So I'll see if HMV have gotten any footage. I'll get them off, and I'll just do little segments. But we'll see.
And if that's not the case, go stream James's new song, No Regrets.
Yeah, it's out now, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully my live album has too, but I'm getting very, very doubtful with it, the way that Ditto's going at the minute.
Yeah, it's...
much love, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See you later.
Oh, don't...
The right one at the wrong time, but there's no need for a lifeline. It's still hard for me to want it. We both saw the stop signs, but still ran the red lights, and we were laughing over. But I don't blame, but you made it easier to go our separate ways. Now when I see you, I keep reminding myself, baby, that I don't need you, that I don't need you. Well, come on, only time can tell if we both chose one. The sad truth is me.
You've been listening to Off The Stage podcast. Make sure you tune in next time.